When single moms talk about wanting to move abroad, usually the focus stays on where they want to go or what they're hoping to change. What usually doesn't get talked about is the part that slows everything down before the move happens. This is the stage where most single moms get stuck, even though the desire is still there.
Hey y'all, it's Sade Imore, your favorite expat with nomadic tendencies. I left the US in 2021 and now I slow travel while living abroad as a single mom expat. If you're interested in knowing more, subscribe and let's get into the video.
Most single moms don't get stuck because they lack clarity or motivation about what they want. They get stuck because everything has to be considered at one time. Before the move even happens, you're thinking about passports, paperwork, residency, income, schooling, healthcare, and timelines. None of these are options. And because everything is running through one person, you don't have the place to pause or to hand part of the process off. From the outside, it can look like hesitation. From the inside, it looks like trying to hold too many responsibilities without a clear order or a way to move through them. A lot of this happens quietly. It looks like opening a tab to research one more thing and then closing it because it feels like too much. It looks like saving posts and videos with the intention of coming back later, but never finding the time to sit and watch them. It looks like wanting to move forward, but not knowing where to start first. This is where single moms usually start to question themselves, not because they don't trust their decisions, but because the process feels heavier than what they expected. For single moms, planning isn't just about logistics, it's about responsibility. You're not only thinking about what you want, you're thinking about what has to be protected, what needs to be handled correctly, and what could create problems later if something is overlooked now. That kind of thinking adds a lot of pressure, even if you feel confident about your decision to move. Most of the time, it feels like being mentally on all the time. Even during moments of rest, part of your mind is still tracking everything that needs to be done and what decision you're going to make first. This is why single moms feel mentally crowded during this stage. You can be ready for a change and still be slowed down by the weight of having to manage everything alone. And this is where things start to get misunderstood. This stage doesn't usually get recognized for what it is. It's often framed as indecision, but in reality, a lot of single moms have already made the decision to move. What hasn't happened yet is visible progress. Because there's no outward movement, this stage can start to feel uncomfortable. It's easy to assume something isn't working or that you're behind where you should be. That assumption quietly changes how the process feels, even though nothing about your commitment has changed. Instead of feeling like preparation, this stage can start to feel like delay, and that shift can make it harder for you to stay grounded in the decision you've already made. What most single moms don't need here is more motivation and reassurance that they're capable. They already know that. What's usually missing is clarity around what needs to be done now and what can be solved later. Without that clarity, the planning phase stretches longer than it needs to. Momentum fades, but it's not because the desire to move has changed. It's because you don't have a clear place to start. Things usually start moving again when your head feels less crowded. It's not because you have less responsibility, but it's because everything is not demanding your attention at one time. When that shift happens, planning doesn't feel as overwhelming. You can actually start focusing on what needs to be handled now instead of feeling like you're being pulled in 10 different directions. That's when it starts to feel possible again. The process gets quieter, decisions stop stacking on top of each other, and you no longer feel like you're behind. Spending time in this part of the process has changed how I think about what single moms actually need before a move ever happens. It's something that I've been sitting with and working through, and I'll be sharing more with you soon.